One of tonight's biggest heroes. We got Isiah Thomas here. Isiah, I guess the first thing we got to talk about, let's talk about the sequence down the stretch, the three-pointer, and then the steal coming on the inbound.
But when we diagrammed the play in the huddle, it was up to me to either take the three-point shot or drive to the basket and try to get a quick two. I ended up taking a three. I made it, and then we just locked up. And I seen Jaminski run to would be his right first. And I seen there was nobody on that side of the court, so I covered Scott Brooks, and he came back to his left, and he made a bounce pass. And I was lucky enough to get there and make the bounce pass. And when I stole the basketball, I quickly looked for our teammates, for one of my teammates. I seen Joe streaking down the right or the left side, and I hit him with the basketball, and he laid it up.
Simple as that. You know, one of the things we were talking about tonight was a struggle offensively, seemed like, for everybody. And you and Joe both scored a lot of points, but the shot just wasn't going. But when it came down to crunch time, there was no question who had to take the shot. It had to be either you or Joe from the three-point range.
We've been playing a lot of games over the last week and a half. You know, our legs just kind of gave out tonight. We didn't have good legs. We didn't have good mobility, and shots wasn't falling, but we just kept working and kept digging hard. At the end of the game, we wasn't trying to concentrate on the offense. We was just trying to concentrate on stopping them defensively.
Like 2 games in a row now, the overtime game against Houston, and of course tonight, you've had tough calls. The offensive foul went in the Pistons' favor the other night in favor of Joe. Tonight, you had the Rodman situation on Barkley, and it went the other way. Should calls be made at that time of the game?
Calls should definitely be made at that time of the game. I went and told the official, you know, whether it was the right call or the wrong call, at least he had guts enough to make the call. And you know, when you're playing a game in basketball and you play as hard as we play, all you want is a fair whistle. And whether or not he made the right or the wrong call, at least he had guts enough to make the call. And you got to respect an official such as that.
Seems like the last couple of weeks you've been in situations as the game comes down to where there's 2 minutes or 3 minutes to go, and either the odds are against you or whatever, you find a way to win. Is that a result of playoff experience? Is that a result of just being together, execution?
It's a result of being together and understanding, you know, all the different pressure situations that we've been involved in over the last couple of years. You know, we've been in just about every situation you can be involved in, from a playoff standpoint to a championship standpoint to a regular season standpoint, and you just understand that, you know, 22, 23 seconds on the clock is a lot of time, is an eternity in a basketball game.
This club seems to have changed an awful lot with the addition of Mahorn. What is it that makes them so much better or so much different or so difficult for the Pistons to handle this year as compared to last?
You know, he stole all our secrets and he went over to Philadelphia and he mixed the ingredients in there. You know, we gave him some good stuff here. You know, he learned a lot of good basketball here. He learned a lot of good things here, and you know, he's a very intelligent basketball player. So he was able to go there and more or less bring them together as a team and more or less become their leader of that basketball team.
You see the difference in intangibles as much as anything else? I mean, is it the leadership more than the ability, or is the ability critical there?
In any basketball situation, the leadership is most important, because you can always have the talent, you can always have the guys who can put it in a hole, but you need the people you need somebody to bring it together and make it a cohesive unit where everybody's playing one for all and all for one, and that's what they're doing, and they're a good basketball team.
Last question, which I think everybody's concerned about: how's the ankle going to be?
My ankle will be fine. Right now I'm more worried about my finger here.
Well, it's all working at least tonight. Good game. Good game. Okay.